What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Bryan Turner Basketball Podcast. We got a fun one today. I want you guys to take a look at this video. And if you can, I want you to tell me your first reaction to how old you think these kids are. So, my first reaction to when I first saw this clip was that, man, my 13-year-old son ain't got a chance with these guys. But then I guess it lasted for maybe like, I want to say just a minute or two. And I just had to think, like, you know what? Nah, my kid is going to be fine. A lot of you guys kids are going to be fine. What we're watching right now and what we're looking at right now is the stuff that's going on in on the youth grassroots basketball scene. And if you've been in this long enough, you start to see the trends where, and then the trends are, you know, here we get a kid that has advanced moves at a young age. Man, he can dribble like Kyrie, he can shoot it like Steph. He's 8 years old, man. He's cold. The team that he plays on, man, we have those kids running the flex offense, and we're looking for the third and fourth option. And we're running this advanced horns offense from the NBA, and they're only 8 and 9, and they know how to run all of these different things. Uh, Zone defenses in rec leagues, kids afraid to mess up. Kids are looking in the stands, getting coached by the parents. Like you see all of this time and time and time and time again. And what tends to happen is the longer you stay in this, you see the trends, you see the pitfalls, you see the success stories, you also see the things that become important as you start to get older. That if a kid at this age, 8 and 9, didn't establish certain things at a young age, a lot of it being respect, being able to continue to learn, um, uh, just all of the things that you're going to need once everybody starts to catch up to you. You get a lot of kids that hit growth spurts at a young age, hit their physical peak at a young age, and they start to dominate the age that they're playing at. What tends to happen is we get these kids early, getting all of the accolades, all of the love bombing. Oh my God, that kid is this and that kid is that. Then what happens? That kid starts to hit that ceiling. And if they didn't establish certain things at a young age, which has a lot to do with the person, the family, the kid overall, not anything that has anything to do with his athletic ability, but are you raising a kid that's respectful, that's a gentleman, that understands hard work, that understands certain things that you're going to need when you get older? And if you miss those steps and you skip those steps, we see the pitfalls that happen for a lot of these kids. Excuse me, at a shout out to these guys. Shout out to again these kids trying to reach their basketball potential. But here's the thing, and again, I'm dealing with just strictly just stats and data that I just did a simple Google search as far as the certain data and trends when it comes to youth sports. So it noted that early specialization increases injury risk by 70%. 70%. So what does that mean? That when kids are young and you have kids just doing one thing, you're only training those one muscle groups all of the time playing that one sport. 70% of people, 70% of those athletes have increased injury risk. So parents, let the kids play multiple sports when they're young. Let the kids kind of dibble and dabble in different things, and then let them come back to the game. A lot of times you see guys, man, no days off, practicing 8 days a week. I'm getting it in, this, that, and the third. And the kids become obsessed. But then when basketball is taken away for whatever reason, injuries, grades, stress, whatever the kids don't know how to handle, and they have a hard time managing what the next steps are. All right. So again, stats again. Multiple sport athletes have longer careers. Okay. If you get kids that again max out in the 10th grade, max out in the ninth grade, they're done after that. Okay. But if the kid played multiple sports, which I encourage kids to play the footballs, the soccer, the cross countries, the track and field, until you start getting the footing in what is your moneymaker? What is going to be the things that take you to the next level? What are you trying to get out of these things before you make a decision on whether or not I want to continue playing a particular sport? And we tend to give the kids at least to about 15 or 16 before you start making a decision, because again, you should at least have a plan on what you're trying to do with only 2 to 3 years left for high school. All right. Another stat says burnout rate spike before age 14. So here we go. We're talking about 14-year-olds that are your freshman year. You've played basketball since you've been three and a half, and you're tired of your parents clowning at games. You're tired of the pressure of this, that, and the third. And by the time you get to high school, 14 years old, freshman year, mom, dad, I want to do something else. And all of that money that you've invested, the time, the energy, parents start to panic as if they're not quote unquote good parents because their kid didn't continue to play. Well, some of those things that you should have been doing or listening to the signs at an early age on, hey, don't let them play this, or hey, give them a break. You know, I'm going to drop a link to USA Basketball has a diagram to the amount of time that they consider USA players should be playing on the court, training on the court, resting, and then getting back into the flow of things. It's something that you guys need to probably check out. I'll probably have it in the either the descriptions below or have a link to that information. So in the end, fast does not mean better. It just means early. Okay. If a kid is dunking early, if a kid is dribbling with three hands early, all right, that doesn't mean that he's better than your kid. It just means he got there earlier. Okay. So that's something to think about. And then again, what do kids actually need? And I think when guys take a look at that USA Today information, you start to figure out and you start to see that kids need free play. Taking it back to when I grew up, and we used to play bucket in the playgrounds. We used to play 32, King of the Hill, just things that have no type of structure, play involved in it to where they can just freestyle, which is good. Because if they do that, it increases the creativity of the game of basketball. Basketball is just a game of reactions and rhythms and flow and just having fun. So let's not take that away from our young kids. And then making sure that they are allowed to make mistakes without consequences. I think that's one of the biggest things. Every time you make a mistake, you don't want kids looking over their shoulder or looking down or listening for the horn for whatever reason because they think they're going to be subbed out for making a mistake. Right? Mistakes happen. And I guarantee you, anybody that disagrees, Tell me how many times you missed a layup. Tell me how many times you've made a turnover. And I guarantee if I put you on the court right now, you would probably make some of the same mistakes that some of these teenagers or some of your sons or daughters are making right now. Okay. But just to kind of wrap up some of these things that I want to kind of talk about, uh, again, basketball IQ grows from mistakes. If you make mistakes, I don't look at those as losses or even mistakes. It's just something that you just got to learn from, and if you learn from it, then you will start to grow your basketball IQ, which is very very important as you continue to grow. All right. Um, and for the coaches out there, because that's a big part. A lot of these kids right here, we kind of talked about that on a few other podcasts, and it's in the news right now that basketball is the only sport where you get guys that play football, guys that play soccer, guys that wrestle, guys that did not hoop in high school become basketball coaches. How did that happen? How did that happen to where parents felt comfortable listening to and taking advice from people who never played the sport themselves? It's mind blowing to me that you guys will put your child in the hands of these type of individuals where they're going to continue to mess over these kids and even their thought process. So when you think about the whole thing about confidence and consistency, them guys can't teach them that. All right. Teach, don't control. Continue to teach, don't control. Build confidence in players, no matter what it is. Build confidence. Confidence sometimes may mean, hey, you might have to play on the freshman team. You might have to play on the JV team until you can figure it out and get it right. Um, and it might not be a whole lot of pressure with the game of basketball if you do take that route. Okay. So delay the pressure and protect your joy. I'm one of the coaches that always say it needs to be an element of fun that's involved. All right. If the kids don't love the game, they won't stay in it. And they have to know that this game is fun because at the end of the day, this is just a game. All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are some of the things you want me to talk about? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my whole take on that this youth basketball scene is just getting totally crazy? Let me know in the comment section what you think, and I will check you guys on the next video.